Hi there. As part of our instructional technology department, obviously we are supporting some of the software that has been purchased and or is being used in schools. The HMH Leveled Reader app is something new to several schools this year, so we wanted to show you some alignment with that app and the leveled reading materials that it provides to support the Common Core literacy standards across contents. The link to the presentation that you're going to see here is below if you want to access any of the resources that I've listed. So the text that I've chosen is a level R reader just for our example today. It's called The Sun Above and the River Below. Basically it's a folktale story, Native American based, about the sun in the sky and the creation of Niagara Falls. So using that text as a leveled reader, looking at how we can align that to math, science, and social studies. So with math, talking about the greater picture of students creating their own word problems, that's a literacy strand in itself, but using this chosen text, they can create their own word problems that focus in on the content standard being addressed in math, whether that's multiplication or dealing with fractions, using the characters, the setting, and the conflict that appear in that leveled text, they can create their own word problems. With science, you can have students conduct an experiment on the effects of too much sunlight or too little as it pertains to the story. Also, you could have them study the real way Niagara Falls was formed and conduct some water erosion experiments to learn about that. And then social studies, students can study the culture and conflict of Native Americans and also tie that into the geographical features as they pertain to the text that I've listed. So I wanted to show you just quickly a few links that I've pulled out as resources. So teaching students how to write a word problem just quickly links you. Okay, this is linking you to the wonderful word problems. This is basically just an article and a lesson overview of how to teach kids to conduct and rather to create their own word problems. So a really good walkthrough here on this article. Another link that I've listed here for you is a lesson on orbits. So the site that you can see here is the Children's University of Manchester. The really cool thing they give you here is this interactive orbital study. So if you just click the next, it actually allows you to follow the Earth's orbit, to talk about the sun's reflection as it pertains to the Earth's orbit, and why in the folktale we're seeing sun with sun and without sun. The third resource that I listed here was a 5th grade Native American Common Core lesson that's pulled from a lesson bank. So you can see that this is a lesson that's leveled to 5th grade for cultures and conflicts as they pertain to Native Americans. So just looking through this, you can see that it does deal with some of the geographical implications, learning about the different tribes, also about the expansion. So again, the cultures and conflicts. So that was a really brief overview of a leveled text from the HMH Readers app being used to align Common Core literacy strands throughout other content areas. Now it's your turn. The task would be for you to choose one of these texts and align it to the standards of math, science, or social studies that you have to address. Obviously, the alignment towards a language arts or a reading strand is much more straightforward. So these ones require a little bit of thought. Also, think about ways to differentiate these lessons and tasks using a different leveled text. We don't want to take away from the impact of having leveled text available to you to be able to differentiate to the reader's levels. So thinking about a like goal or standard to address in social studies, but providing supplemental text at the reader's level. Just thinking about that. So how do those leveled readers bridge the Common Core? HMH has given us sort of these guidelines, and I thought it was worth it sharing. The new reading standards are calling for complex text as well as for shorter text, well matched to students' individual abilities. Leveled readers are ideal for identifying students' strengths and reading levels, building their comprehension and fluency, and ramping them up to more complex text. So again, the goal here is to differentiate, but always giving them that comprehensible input +1. How can we push them to the next level? Also, ramp up to more complex text with leveled readers on the same topic as the more complex texts. Create a learning sandbox, offering texts students can read with confidence to practice the rigor of the standards, so that text to support the standard. And then also to build domain knowledge and vocabulary using those leveled readers aligned to the standards. Loop back to leveled readers from a complex text so students can make connections. So there are several different aspects that we're looking at here, all of which involve using that HMH Readers app, available for free on the iTunes store, the App Store, Apple App Store. And again, the presentation link is down here if you'd like access to any of the resources that I listed.